outside of Mr. Curran?
I love Mr. Curran's literary reviews of novels.
I mean, we asked Mr. Curran and about any book club he's part of, because people who teach English and it's like part of their who they are.
Uh-huh.
It's like shocking. Like my grandfather is a English professor at Delgado, and it's just how many books they read. It's like, it takes me like a month or two to get through a book that I'm reading on my free time.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're so. I guess it's discipline.
Yeah. Some people get more immersed in the text, and they just.
Well, it's like how we would be like, oh, I'm gonna watch some TV to relax or go on YouTube or something.
Right.
But it seems with some people, it's just I'm gonna finish this book. I'm gonna start a new book.
Yes.
So, I guess that's the cold open. So welcome back after our hiatus due to uncontrollable controllable circumstances. We're back to Taylor Talk, where we're just interviewing the staff at Patrick Taylor. And for the last couple episodes, we've done Mr. Curran, and we'll get back to him. But this week, this is a very special week. It's Dean Appreciation Week. And here we are with our own Dean, Dr. Lockett. You're a very interesting guy and one of the most well-known people of our staff at this school. So how are you feeling today?
I feel well.
Thank you for coming on. For the full half hour, we're just going to be just seeing what makes Dr. Lockett Dr. Lockett, if that's all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
This is a question I'm sure many newer students have, and I know you've explained it before, but what is your doctorate in specifically?
Higher educational leadership.
Okay.
Yes.
And where did you go?
Oregon State University.
Okay. Now, when you're choosing that major, is that what you wanted to major in first when you first went into college?
No, when I first went to college, I got a bachelor's degree in business administration and accounting.
Okay.
And I graduated in that, and I worked in that a little while. I didn't really like it, so I started teaching before I got certified. I took the test to become a teacher, and I passed the test. So all I had to do was go back to school again to get certified, and had to take more certification classes.
So, and that's like lesson planning and...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, methodologies and different things like that, yes.
So that's interesting, business management. And so it's always just making sure everything runs smoothly and managing things to work efficiently and properly. That's similar to what you do over here, organizing and just trying to make everything work as clean as possible. So you can see how that correlates over. So as far as business, is that, and just management in general, and then higher education a little later, is that something that you kind of always thought about, or did it come kind of after?
It came kind of after. I was working in business and business management for a while after I graduated. And then I kind of started leaning toward education. I started substitute teaching, and I liked that. So I decided I want to go back for education.
Okay.
So I took the test, and I passed it, and then I went back to get my certification to be an elementary teacher.
Okay. Now, was it the students, or was it kind of the lifestyle that you liked?
It was kind of both. It was kind of both.
Okay.
Knowing that you can make a difference in the classroom teaching.
Okay, so, and that's, I feel like if you get into teaching, that kind of has to be a main point that you're going into to make a positive change.
Yes.
In, younger people's very formative years.
Yes.
It can be, especially in high school, it can be a very awkward time for a lot of people just trying to figure out what they really, this rush to figure out what you're doing with your future. But I guess as you said, it was your career path kind of changed over time. It seems.
Yes.
I'm sure you're much happier with what you're doing than business management.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So you find it gratifying?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. Each year I'm in education, I find it more and more gratifying because you can kind of see where you're making a difference in the lives of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any certain commitment to this school that you've made?
Yeah. let me tell you why. Because when I interviewed for this job, I interviewed with the previous superintendent, Isaac Joseph, and he asked me to be the first dean at the school because they didn't have a dean before. And we had a long interview on a Saturday morning, and I had prior experiences being a principal and an academic leader at different other schools. So he wanted a dean at this school to be academic and behavioral dean, in a way more academic than behavioral, so to speak, because he wanted the academic part to be, important at this school.
Okay, so I guess it wasn't necessarily a discipline issue at the school. It's just a focus on academics, or
well, it's supposed to be both. A dean's position is supposed to be academics and behavioral, but it was more academic at this school, being a advanced study academy.
I guess that goes into our next question. What was your not most, but a very memorable moment at Patrick Taylor for your years working here?
Most people think that they don't have things to address discipline-wise. They do. It's just different. What struck me is something interesting about Patrick Taylor was the school spirit. There's a lot of school spirit in this school, and being a Taylor Tiger. Okay. And that was evident from the first day I started working.
Really?
Yeah, it was. And the students and the teachers.
So is that different from other schools you've worked at?
I think so. Yeah, it was stronger. There was a stronger culture. Yeah, at this school than other schools. Yeah, I think people identify with being a Taylor Tiger.
Yeah, I think you're right, because it's maybe we don't think of it as school spirit, but it's just this identity that you have when you go to the school.
Yeah,
it's this kind of character that you carry with yourself, right, being part of Patrick Taylor. I don't think a lot of people think of that as school spirit. They think of school spirit like rallies and
rallies,
like mascots and a good sports team. But I think we carry ourselves kind of in a higher regard because we go to this school.
Absolutely. It's a feeling. It's a feeling when you're in here.
Right. Yeah. So
why do you think people started to admire you? Why was that?
You have a cult following, Dr. Lockett. So why do you? I mean, you're well respected here, and you're very open to talk to, and people like your nature and how you carry yourself. So why do you think that is?
I think it's because each day when I come to work, I try to take the position that I'm going to try to motivate and inspire somebody that day. Some people everyone has bad days, but I think I adopt the position like I'm going to try to make today better for somebody or some group of people.
Well, that sounds like you just give like 100% all the time.
I might have bad days. Everyone wakes up with bad days, but
sure.
I try to take the position like I'm going to make today better for somebody, even if they're all having a bad day.
That's wonderful. No, you're definitely right. I think people feel comfortable around you. So besides being part of this school system and helping others and inspiring people, what do you do on your spare time?
I like creative writing. I like reading a lot, and I like hanging out with my grandson.
Does he inspire you?
He does a lot. Yeah, he's only 7 years old, but he's an interesting guy. He's very inspirational.
Yes. Creative writing. Yes. So is that like short stories or
short stories?
Oh, yeah. That sounds. I
keep journals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you be comfortable with, publishing some of that to at least our school?
That's the goal.
That's amazing.
That's the goal. Yeah.
I wish I was that. I had a plan.
I see you doing that.
List of short stories that I could aspire to like be able to publish. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Have you always, written?
I've always liked writing. Yeah.
Okay.
And ELA, English language arts, was my thing.
Yeah. Yeah. How long have you kept a journal?
Through high school, and I kind of stopped for a while. Then I started again.
And do you do that? Is that weekly, daily, or how often do you?
Sometimes it's daily, but mostly it's every week.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've tried to keep journals before just to organize my thoughts and kind of, if I need to, reflect, like go back and see maybe if I've changed, or because we have this like thing where, you think of something one day and it could be positive or negative, and then you look back on it a couple of days, even a day later, and you realize it's, you get more perspective on it. So I try to do that, but I struggled with just maintaining it.
Right.
How would you recommend getting into the habit of keeping a journal?
I think would open up a Google Doc and do a page a day. You know, I've been doing a page a day reflection, and I'm keeping them ongoing, and I'm gonna publish something to get to my grandson. Today, this is what I learned.
Okay.
Yeah, like it might be something simple. I
Yeah.
encountered something. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
And I learned this in that situation. You know.
Yeah. The Meditations by Dr. Lockett.
Meditation,
Yeah.
reflection, yeah.
That's. I would be interested in. I don't know. Just working here, you'd accumulate a lot of wisdom, experience. So I'd be interested in looking at that.
I like to read a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, if I have a chance to do recreational reading, I like to do that. Fishing, golf, hitting golf balls.
You go to the driving range?
I do. Yeah.
That's a good time.
it is.
My wrist kills me after every time I go, but it's fun.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been meaning to go with Mr. Ragland. He's trying to get me to go.
Mr. Ragland's.
Oh my gosh.
Gosh. What's your favorite book?
Promised Land by Barack Obama.
Was that inspiring or
Very, very much so. Yeah.
is it an insight?
I like. He has good narration. Very good narration.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's very inspiring. You know, he tells a really good story.
I'm sure of course, there's a lot of challenges to overcome when becoming a president or just anything in, formal offices. You find that inspiring?
Yeah, he reminds me of Abraham Lincoln too, because he reflects on his setbacks as well, and how he overcame his setbacks and how he didn't let his setbacks define him. Like some people, after you have a setback, they say, "I'm not going to even try anymore."
It defines them.
It defines them, what's inspiring to me is reading about other people having setbacks and then reading how they overcame it or they kept going.
Okay.
So those are the kind of things I like to read. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that how you write? Is that what you expect? Like when you write your own journals, you want to show people?
I do. I want to show people my thoughts on when I had setbacks, on my thoughts on different, things I encountered, and how I can inspire them to maybe circumvent and move on if they encounter something similar.
Here's something we can relate to. What was high school life for you? Did you thrive in that, or was it harder?
I was an A student. I went to St. Augustine High School.
Okay.
I was in what they call A track. A track is like the highest track you could be in. They had A vector, A, B, C, and D.
Yeah.
And we had to test to get into school. I made the highest test to get into the school. And we had advanced placement classes, but not like the extent that you guys had.
Mm-hmm.
That was back.
Do you like that categorization of students and organizing them into because I've read that it kind of sets students up. So like if you're a C student, that student's going to have the mindset of being just kind of average, run of the mill. And if you have like an A student, that like sets them up. Okay, I'm gonna be a lawyer. I'm gonna be a doctor. Would you do things differently if you had complete control?
I did. Wow, you know why I'm laughing? Because when I finally did become a principal, I reflected on just what you said, and I never wanted students to be categorized into one area to set them up for their future. In other words, I wanted everyone to have the same playing field to inspire them to be something else.
To grow. It kind of like, it's how you think of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not, okay, well, maybe that makes you reflect and think, okay, I can do better. But I think most of the times it has a negative effect on students where it's like, well, this is just my lot in life and I have to accept it. But I think you're right, that if it's just kind of like everybody has room to grow, and I think that's a better way of thinking about it.
What would you tell students who feel that way about themselves?
All right, here's another story. Can I go into the story?
Go ahead.
All right. After Hurricane Katrina, I went through several schools after they rebuilt the schools. And the last place I was a principal was at an alternative school for kids in 7th through 12th grade that were expelled from other places. And they sent me over there before this school closed down to become a charter. So all the students that were in that school were expelled from other places. So the teachers, when I got there, were just happy just to be able to have the kids come to class and not necessarily aspire to academics.
Just participate.
Just participate or just show up. And I made them concentrate more on academics because you can't throw anybody away because they're in an alternative school.
Right.
And you can't categorize anyone because they're in an alternative school. You have to have the same aspirations
As any other school.
as any other school for them. Okay. So I made them concentrate on academics, and I asked the district to give us more academic resources, and eventually that started working. I mean, people change their mindset to want to aspire. I mean, they have the students aspire to be better.
I think if they lack leadership and kind of a goal, and they just, it's, you know, kind of, it's depressing to think about that. Like, it's that they just don't have the structure necessary.
And I got backlash at first because people were saying, well, why are you doing all this? These kids are not going to be anything, or they're not worth anything. They got thrown out of other places. Every day is a new day, and you want to turn them around. You want them to have a better atmosphere.
And I'm sure most of them wanted something better, but they just struggled to find, I guess, the inspiration for it, the motivation for it, the proper motivation. What kind of music do you listen to? A little more lighthearted.
Old school, R&B, country, rock and roll, soul, everything.
So not hard rock or
hard rock, yeah. The old school hard rock.
Yeah, not alt rock, not like Ween or a little more grating stuff, but yeah. And I heard. Oh, there you go.
I mean, every week, you know, Apple Music changes their thing, and so I create my favorite list and I put it back on the SoundCloud. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I'm sure they have a lot of people there.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, they're telling me about it, and I was like, well, I'm sure he has great music taste.
You're like an enigma, Dr. Lockett.
Huh?
Like you're an enigma. People want to get to know you.
You really?
Yes, sir.
I think that's a lot of. I think that's the case with a lot of teachers. What this kind of podcast is trying to do is just, you know, the person behind the English teacher, the person behind the dean.
The teachers here inspire me as well. When I go into the class to observe academics, seeing them do what they do, it's really an inspiration. Yeah.
First, I think all the teachers here do a great job, and it's very nice to be a part of this. I guess, community where it's, you know, I think everybody mostly tries their best to, like you said, every day is a new day.
Absolutely.
What plans do you have after COVID is completely done with and people are not worried about it anymore? But if, you know, of course, this, you know, I think society has changed a bit. I think everybody just stands a little bit farther away from each other than they normally do. So, but once it's completely over, I guess, is your lifestyle going to change a bit?
I'd like to go back to some of the things that we used to do before here. Not really. You know, I want to start publishing some things.
Yeah. So, like, what would that be? Like pep rallies and
pep rallies, dances, all those other things that inspire people.
Yeah.
The rituals.
Yeah.
Travel plans?
Yeah. Do you have any travel plans? I mean, everybody likes to aspire to travel places, but anywhere in particular?
I want to go to the islands, Jamaica. I want to go deep sea fishing in the Gulf.
Okay. I was looking into the ecosystem in the Gulf, and it's insane. Like just 50 miles offshore from where we're from Louisiana, you have insane life. You know, dolphins, squid.
Yeah,
it's crazy. No, but nobody realizes that. Like what's in Lake Pontchartrain or what's in the shore. Like I don't know, like the most extravagant thing you're gonna find is like a jellyfish.
It's not that far away either.
No, it's not. So.
Do you have any stories of fishing?
No, not really. I mean, I have some fun stories, but you know, I've seen a couple of sharks.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. You're a brave man.
What? And we've gotten a bit of this, but what do you think a good purpose to live by is? Like, what do you think what do you think that applies to everybody that you think they should live by? Kind of a maxim.
I think we should all try to. I mean, I don't want to sound like a cliche.
Go ahead.
We should all try to help one another and try to inspire one another. I think that's my creed. We'll try to help people and try to inspire people. Okay. And if everyone lived like that, I think it would be better for everyone.
Okay. If everybody just kind of followed through that mindset, I think you're right. But I think what people have problems with is they have to be inspired to go on and inspire other people. That's what's great about what you do, is because that's part of your job, is to encourage and inspire.
I think that's the biggest part.
You know, if everybody knows like 100 people personally and they're able to interact with them, all of those people interact with 100 people. Your interactions with those 100 people affect 100,000 people, and you know it just continues. And we're not as insignificant, at least in human life, than maybe we think we are. If you're able to leave a positive impact on people you know and interact with.
Pay it forward, huh? You saw that movie?
Right. You're absolutely right. How has Patrick Taylor changed? Has Patrick Taylor changed anything about how you kind of view your work or anything else?
I think I alluded to the school spirit before, and that together with admiring what the staff does when I go into different classes, I think that kind of changed me in a way to even want to do better, even want to be better and be a better part of the team. So I think the culture was more defined here when I got here, in that people liked the place and they wanted to come to work. If you have that, then you can really, excel to other levels. Other places, they may have some different other external things that hinder them from going higher. You may have a lot of kids that have different demographical situations that may affect them in school. So you might have to address those things before you can even get to the culture of academics.
Okay.
We don't have that to that extent here, so you can really do other things.
The core identity of the school is already established, and you can move on from that.
That's a big positive.
Yeah, definitely. How much freedom do you have when it comes to kind of directing school life, campus life?
I always have to allude to my team that I work on.
Okay.
So I'm on the administrative team with the administrators.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody has a higher up, right? So,
Yeah.
like, let's say you wanted to, plan an event, or replace an event with something else. Who would you have to go to?
Well, I have to go to my principal.
Okay.
And ask my principal. My principal would have to ask somebody on her level. We have to go up the chain of command.
How high do you think it has to go up?
It goes to the district level. We all have different people we have to answer to. So
I asked that because I feel like a lot of students are like, "Oh, this is so stupid." With something, it's like, why can't they just change it? Why can't they just like, why can't they go back to this, or why can't they do this? Yeah, people don't realize I guess the bureaucracy that's involved with changing. Even an event or organizing something. If you had free reign, if you could make your own school, you had unlimited funding.
And you had us.
You had to deal with our this.
that's an interesting question. I had to think about that one a while. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What first thoughts?
School food.
Yeah. Would you change the food?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know.
Bigger cafeteria, and I think y'all should have a different variety in there. Yeah, that's one thing.
I'm sorry, I just thought of this. How much has cafeterias changed since you were a boy?
Oh, they changed a lot.
So positive or negative?
Yeah, like 5-star cuisine.
Was there more selection,
There
or?
was more selection. When I went to school, the cafeteria people really, really cooked.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not out
as opposed to just warming stuff.
Yeah.
When you went to school in the morning, you can smell baking, like a bakery.
Wow.
Yeah, they were baking stuff. It was like a restaurant.
Well, that's what I've heard of that, but just confirming. Have you always rocked the mustache? Have you always done the facial hair, or?
Since high school, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Would you ever? I asked Mr. Kern this. I think I'm going to make a point of asking every male we interview. Would you grow a beard?
I've grown a goatee before. Not a full beard.
Would you ever think about growing a beard?
I thought about it. My beard doesn't come out
As full?
like my son. Yeah, my son's beard is.
Wait, he's 7?
No, that's his grandson.
Grandson. Oh, no.
He doesn't have a
My son's
beard.
30. Yeah.
If I paid you like $50 and you had a oh, there you go.
There you go. He's showing us a picture of his sons.
Grandson.
I was about to say that doesn't look 30.
If I paid you $50 and you had to grow out your beard for a month, would you do it?
Yeah, I do it.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, I have a deal for you. No, I'm kidding.
Would you go back to high school?
Would I go back to high school?
Yeah.
Knowing what I know now? Yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What changes would you make?
I think knowing what I know now, everyone will make different decisions.
Of course.
Yeah. So
What did you just breeze through school, or
I did, What you mean breeze through?
like if you went back and you knew what you knew, and you kind of had like, okay, this is what I'm working towards.
Yeah. I think I'd have even worked even harder. Not that I didn't work hard, but I think I'd work even harder.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you can only go like up from there,
Yeah.
like knowing what you know, going back.
Right.
So, would you aspire to something higher, or would you kind of aspire to what you do now?
I like what I'm doing now.
Okay.
I think if I went back, I would go back to be an eye doctor.
Really?
Yeah.
Eye doctor.
Okay.
Are you saying that you were in the eye doctor profession, or you were interested in it?
I was interested in it. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I should have done that.
You could still open up a shop in your office.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a a lot of kids wear glasses here, Dr. Lockett. You could do a
true,
lot.
yeah.
You could make a killing.
Is one better or two?
Yeah. New Orleans. Is there anywhere you would want to live other than New Orleans, or is there somewhere you would wish you lived other than New Orleans?
No, I don't think so. I liked Texas. I stayed there a year after Hurricane Katrina. It was all right.
Okay.
Yeah. But, New Orleans is unique. Oh, New York. I like New York.
Oh, you do. Have you been to New York?
I haven't been to New York in 10 years, but I have.
Okay. Allie's been to New York.
I have.
You like New York?
Um,
Not really.
not really. I mean, it's much different, like climate, atmosphere than
It is.
what we are, because they're all cold and like brusque, and we're more friendly and congenial. But
Warm.
No, I like the metropolis. I like the. I mean, when you go outside, you can just see it's alive. But like you say, it's not as warm as here. So I don't know. To live in New York, you'd have to make a lot of money. If I made a lot of money,
Right.
and
Yeah.
you know,
You'd have a penthouse in New York, and you could come over here and
Yeah.
hang out. Yeah, visit us every now and then.
yeah. Okay.
what's a fun fact no one knows about you
Fun fact.
besides the riding, the fishing, the
golfing.
sounds, yeah.
The New York.
I used to be a really good mechanic.
What?
Yeah, I bought a car when I was 15. My mom was really mad. She didn't know.
Did you have a job and you paid for it?
I had to pay. I paid $500 for it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What kind of car
I
was
didn't
it?
even. It was a 1974 Maverick,
Okay.
and my mom didn't even know. And she was mad because she said, "You don't mind that nobody's supposed to sell you a car?" But I went and bought a car.
Did you have a license?
I had a license.
Okay.
I was 15. Yeah. We didn't have to go through all the things y'all have to go through to get a license. All you have to do is go take the test and.
I would. Yeah. I wish. Jeez. What time are you nostalgic for? Are you nostalgic for the early 2000s, the 90s?
The 80s and the 90s.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. The 80s and the 90s. Great decades. And it was just a colorful decade. It was just, I don't know, it's just a different feeling.
You think it was more alive than?
I think so.
Okay.
Did you roller skate?
Oh, yes, indeed. Wow. Can't believe you say that. We used to roller skate every week.
Okay.
We used to go to something called skate country. Y'all heard of
Yes,
skate country?
yes.
Okay. On Sundays, we used to go to church, and then after church, go to skate country from 12 to 6. Every
Oh,
Sunday.
wow.
Yeah. 12 to 3 and then 3 to 6. We used to stay for 2 sessions.
Jeez. And was that everybody, or was it just kind of?
There's a whole gang of us. You know, we
Okay.
used to catch the bus with our skates. We used to have our own skates. Yeah.
So you know how to like back skate?
Oh, yes, indeed.
I mean, he's doing it every weekend.
6 hours.
Yeah, 12. Yeah, I think he would pick up a thing
A
or
couple
two.
skates with the girls and so on. And
Yeah.
fall
Wow.
Wow.
and pretend like it didn't matter.
That's cool. I mean, I think the 2000s kind of had this attitude that was really all about the internet, the early internet.
Yeah.
And it's incredibly fascinating. The more I learn about it, the more I want to read about it. Just the early internet is just this last frontier of, before, these like Disney owned all the, like half of the media, and then like corporations that are on the internet. But it was like this wild west.
Yeah.
Where you could get away with things you can, never get away with on TV or, just in general. and it was just this independence. And then that was it. It was there in the early 2010s, and then it kind of we've gotten into this very corporate, has less soul, less purpose. I think that's a problem affecting most people our age, is just a lack of purpose and a lack of drive, and that comes out as a result of, I guess, stifling independence and just controlling it, like corporatizing and mass media, the internet.
You know what? I think technology is great, but it stifles a lot of people too.
Yeah.
I think too much technology, we lost a lot of romance.
Okay.
Romance. When I say romance, I mean, it's
Connections.
Connections. That's right. Yeah, connections and relationships and things like that. I think it's too much out there with the internet.
Okay.
Some of the kids.
It's not personal.
It's not. It's impersonal.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was great having you.
Really? I was nervous.
No, it was wonderful. I mean, I think we were kind of nervous coming back. So, any motto or thing you want to sign off with?
Don't stop. Keep going.
Don't stop. Get it.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, that's
80
beautiful to
pounds.
end on.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. And I don't know if you're open to it. I would love to do more.
Really?
Yeah,
I am.
So we're just branching out, getting
I'll
back
sing
into
next
the
time.
groove.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa.
Sounds all right. Now we're definitely doing it. All right. Thank you,
You can
everybody.
pick the song. Yeah.
All right. Goodbye.